This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. Well, this is our next part on queen rearing. 10 days ago we done the graft in the honey shed, and we're now at the stage where we want to pull those cells out, 10-day-old cells. So I'm going to show you how I do that, and then show you putting them into cell carriers, and we'll explain a little bit about the cell carriers, and then we've already done a video of putting cells in, into the hives, so we're not going to worry about that as part of this series, but we will explain it. So this is our queen raiser that we've grafted into last week. The entrance is around the other side, so I'll just walk around here, give a couple of puffs of smoke, and while that's working, this is my little secret weapon that I use. I don't like bee brushes because bees don't like bee brushes. So this is a duck wing. So it's the last joint with the flight feathers on a duck. You can use goose wings as well, wing tips, and that's my bee brush. It's a lot more gentle on the bees, and we don't want to shake the bees. So the bees get a little bit annoyed with this process because I use a fair bit of smoke, and then after the smoke, then I brush all the bees off so I haven't got any bees left. Looks like the bees have stuck a fair bit of wax in here. As you can see, there's a lot of bees in here. They've been pretty busy. Wooden frame is our queen grafting frame. So just give them a bit of smoke down there for starters, just to tell the bees to get out of my way. So that gets rid of a lot of the bees. You can see that they've drawn some burr comb around these queen cells, but we'll have to fix that up. So you just got to be careful that you don't bang the cells. Cells are still a little bit sensitive, although today 10 days is they're about as stable as they can be. Now, remember I said I don't care how many cells I get. If I only get one or two, I'm happy with that. In this case I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll put that away just out of the side over here. I'll put an empty frame back in here. So we've now got this colony all back to square one. And if I wanted to, I could graft straight back into here today, but I won't. I like to work on grafting on a Monday, and then I pull the cells out on a Wednesday. And that just suits my timetable a bit better. So that's that part. I'll get rid of my bee brush. I can leave the hive tool and the smoker here, and let's go and deal with these. Okay, our next thing now is we're going to strip those cells down, get rid of all that burr comb because we can't use that burr comb, and then we're going to put them into our carry cell. So I want to talk about cell carriers at this stage. This was my original cell carrier. I've managed to pick this little polystyrene box up from the local pharmacy, and they get medications in it, and I modified it slightly, and then I had a cell plug, and I put that in there. So what I had in the bottom here was a heat cooling pad, so you can put this in the microwave if you want a heat pack, or you can put it in the freezer if you want an ice pack. And so I microwave this for 2 minutes. I know that because that's what the box says. Microwave that for 2 minutes, put my cell thing in there, put the cells inside here, and then I can go, and that after 2 minutes that will hold that at about 30-32 degrees, and by the end of the day it's down to about 26 degrees, and it's okay. The bees don't care. But I got a bit carried away. I had a friend who was an electronic technician. He's moved out of my area now, and he made me this little cell carrier up. So this is a little cooler bin, chili bin from the warehouse, about less than $10 worth, and I brought a fancy controller. But I've also got, don't worry about the 43 to 42.5 degrees that are down here. I've got a thermometer that's in the lid up here, and that measures exactly where the cells are in here, like that, and that tells me that that there is around 30 degrees, and 30 degrees to me is spot on for the cells. So this whole little, and I've got a little face flannel in here, and I just moisten that, squeeze all the water out, and that there keeps my cells at the right moisture level. So because my little, and this has got a little 230 volt transformer on it, because it's noisy I'm going to turn it off. And then this plugs into the cigarette lighter in the car, and away we go. That was our sheet for our grafting notice. So we're down here now of harvest day, and we can put on here how many cells we got, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll just write down on here that we've harvested 12. That information we will keep, and we will use that later on. So our first thing is we'll take the bottom bar off, nice and carefully. We don't want to drop it, we don't want to bang it, We don't want to do anything silly with it. There's two cells here, and we'll just gently run the knife down in between them. So we just take one cell off at a time. We'll just get a little bit of cloth that'll just something that I can sit the cells on while we're working on them. These easy JZ, BZ cells come off nice. Okay, so the next thing I do with my trusty pair of scissors, and you can see the shape of the cell in there, and very carefully I just trim the wax off. That's enough, and I just gently put them in the cell carrier. I like to keep the lid closed all the time while I'm doing this. See? So there's not much to talk about here, just gently all the time, gently, gently, gently with these. You don't want to beat them up. Now you can prevent some of this bird comb build up, stop the bees from doing it, and I forgot to, is put a spare frame, an undrawn frame, in the hive with the bees, and the bees will spend more time working on drawing the spare comb than they will on making bird comb here. So where did that bastard come from? Out of there. You just might have to prune a couple of these. Fuck. I've gone in and cleaned up a couple of these, Chan. So we'll have you made the splits? Yeah. Just need to be careful when you're cutting around here that you don't damage the queen cell. but you've got to cut close enough that the queen can open the cell from the inside. The bees do help her get out, so that's okay. Right, that job's done. So now the next part is out in the field. We need to put the cells into the hive, and they need to be protected cells. So how do we protect them? Well, we can use these commercial purchase ones, or you can be cheap and miserable like me and use a little bit of irrigation hose, and then I'll put a cut in it so I can spread it out around the cells like that. I'm going to show you now how I do that. So here's one of our cells. They fit perfectly in there like that. The bees can't, or a spare virgin can't get around it, that thing. The bees can get in there and help the queen look after it, but a queen can't get in there and sting and kill that cell. So that's one option. There's these new ones that I quite like, these, and they sit in like that, and again it's a fair way up that hole there to get at the cell, so the queen can't sting through that and get at it. I'm being very gentle with this cell as much as I can because this one's got a live queen in it. And then my little piece of pipe, I can open that up, sit it round there like that, and that will work perfectly fine as well. I then place them onto the frame about like that somewhere. So that's harvesting cells. Not as many as I would have liked off here, but as many as I need. As I said, if I get 2 or 3, I'm happy. If I get 20, I'm extra happy. But I'm doing it for hobbyists, not for commercial purposes. So that's harvesting cells, and this is Trev on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll catch you around in the beehive.